Demetrious Johnson became or reclaimed the world championship over the weekend. The minds in our sport that we all concede to, though they remain unnamed, have said that he is the number one 125-pounder on earth today. Over the weekend, this came out. He got his attention. He got his praise. He got on Amazon Prime. He got back in front of the North American audience, and he got the North American media back talking about him. Now, few people know this, and I don't know why. I don't know why that this is misunderstood. But in one championship, so you understand, flyweight, which is what you know Demetrious as, 125 pounds, right? And that's what you guys know. Flyweight in one championship is 135 pounds. It's relevant. Why? Because Demetrious came out after he got this praise, and it really gets you thinking. I mean, that is a fun debate, as ridiculous as GOAT conversations are, because it can't be proven. When you're discussing GOAT, you are in a literal manner as opposed to a fictitious manner, having the same conversation as discussing the possible integers as to why Batman would beat Superman. Truly. You're not going to put him in a tournament, and you're not going to do it. Okay. It's still fun, isn't it? And when this came out again about Demetrious, I talked to my partner, Ryan. He's reading it. He's telling me about this. So we just started having a conversation. My partner, Ryan, has done every side of MMA, including managing, including producing. The whole sport. He says, Chael, I think Demetrious, I think he matches up real well with Figueiredo. I think he beats Moreno. As a matter of fact, Ryan understands that it's 135. He says, as a matter of fact, I like him against Sterling. What do you think? Okay, so here I am. My buddy Ryan's going to see this. Here's my answer, okay? Because it is interesting, and Demetrious corrected it over the weekend, which was to say I'm never returning to 125. I feel compelled to talk about this because a lot of people thought Demetrious was saying and announcing he's leaving the belt that he just won behind and he's moving divisions. That's why I really have to clear for you that in one championship, flyweight is 10 pounds more than you're used to in North America. It's extremely relevant, but we can still have the conversation. Okay? Demetrious was cool. I would not have done this if I were Demetrious. I'd have kept my mouth shut and let everybody debate that I could beat up Moreno and Figueiredo. He attempted to remove the conversation, but I want to have it anyway. I will share with you my days of disrespecting Brandon Moreno are long behind me. They're long behind me. That dude can fight. Because Kaikar France is for sure in the top 10. I think he's in the top 5. I'm going to say 10 so that it becomes a literal statement. Best 125-pounders ever. Ever. Moreno beat him up. Stopped him. Okay. Moreno can make the weight class. It's relevant. Moreno can make the weight class. Moreno has an interim championship, but there's a light discussion going on that match with Figueiredo is never going to happen. And that conversation started by Figueiredo, who has a hard time making the weight class. All right. I still think DJ beats him. Yeah, but not from a disrespect, not from me not understanding Moreno. Moreno is awesome, and Moreno's fast. You know what else Moreno will do? Throw a lot at the wall. A lot of MMA is about that. From any aspect that you want to do. We can talk about from boxing, from wrestling, we can talk about jiu-jitsu, we can just talk about overall. A lot of it, it's not just the technique, it's how many times are you going to try it? It's not how well you can do an arm bar. Are you going to throw up an arm bar and when it gets stopped, use that to set up an arm bar? And when that gets defeated, use that to transition to another arm bar. In the sport of wrestling, you have a beautiful shot. Okay, but can you use that shot to set up your next shot, which sets up your third shot, which is what gets him down? And Moreno does that, man. He's going to be on you. But I believe that's where Demetrious thrives. I mean, we're just discussing a fictitious match. This isn't going to be true in 5 years. Demetrious will be retired. Demetrious will be slow. Demetrious will be coaching or commentating in 5 years. It's going to be Moreno, but we're having this conversation. For right now, there is a maturity. Brandon Moreno, while the best, right? He's got that belt, is a boy. It's a very real thing. And men will tell you, you go through puberty, you guys all read about that in the textbook, somewhere right around that junior high. Nah, but men get to go through it twice when it comes to strength. We call it man strength, or some people call it dad strength. You get to go through that again around that 27, 28 years old. For no damn reason at all. You get stronger. Wake up one day, you're just stronger again. And Moreno hasn't hit that. Moreno's best days are in front of him. And I do add that as a caveat. I really do think that Demetrious beats him. And I really do think that pace and that pressure and all the things that make Moreno great is actually where Demetrious does his best. And I don't think I need any more evidence than to go back to the match that he had on Friday. Just by example, and that's just my opinion. I know that Demetrious matches up well with Sterling. That is an opinion. But it's an opinion of Sterling. I discussed Demetrious, this was a number of years ago, with Sterling. Sterling, beautiful things to say about him. Very beautiful things. He looked at Demetrious and took a lot of what Demetrious did. They were in different weight classes, so he had no fear, right? It's very good to look up to somebody. You guys understand. It's very good to have somebody that you can look up to. But you got to be real careful in this sport because you could be standing across from him. So it's real. You got to be careful. Be careful how you look at it, how you think of it, how you admire. And Sterling, I just remember the conversation we had. Demetrious was one of the guys that he looked to these years later. He's the champion of the world. He's at 135 pounds. It's a good match. It's a good and interesting match. And DJ used to have size problems. He was one of the best guys in the world. He was the absolute best at 125. At 135, he was one of the best. Demetrious fought Dom Cruz. So now you got the best versus, you got an absolute super fight, but it was just before Dom was Dom, and it was just before Demetrious was Demetrious. I believe it went 3-2. I believe it was 3-2. That's how competitive Demetrious was with Dom. So I'm only offering for you, though, the part that did hurt Demetrious, and the reason he couldn't get over on Dom, and then he drops down and goes on his run of 12 straight. It was just the size. But that was a meaningful period of time ago, and Demetrious has grown into 135. I mean, it's really interesting. Like, I love that the media gave this to Demetrious. Sure, there's going to be some nostalgia. And sure, to quote Errol Helwani, there's going to be a recency bias, and he just got the job done, not to mention he looked great. But I would like to hear from you guys. It is just fun. All right? Don't get in the comments and start getting mad at one another. We're trying to intelligently guess something that we're not going to see. So take a deep breath. Do it in the spirit that I just laid out. But I would like to hear from you. Demetrious Johnson, right now, right now, at 125, Demetrious Johnson at 135, with the biggest names you know. How do you see it?